Well, hi, all my friends. President Trump had a really good rally last night, just showing those elites that he can command, an audience, and that the American people are behind him. Uh, and so anyway, yeah, I'm happy for him. But I'm not happy about Congress. How, if they're going to go on their August, vacation and nothing's being done, that just irks me. So, anyway, that's not cool. All right, we are in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 17, and I did a couple of songs that were recommended by a Facebook buddy of mine. His name is Buddy. And so check those songs out. They're oldies but goodies, so maybe you'll enjoy them. One song I did, I didn't even I knew of the group kind of, and I remembered their sound. I remembered there was a girl and three guys or four, and then Juliana told me she interpreted for them. On stage at the Hollywood Bowl. She was asked to come up, and there was a hearing interpreter, and she just copied them, and she said to the audience, "Can you see my signing if you can't use your binoculars?" and she signed their song. She didn't remember what song, because she didn't know, their music, of course. She can't hear, so, but she was game, and she did it, and so I thought that was kind of cool. It's just goes to show you don't know everything about everyone, right? Anyway, okay, so we're in the book of Ezekiel chapter 17, and it's God's judgment upon Zedekiah for revolting from Babylon to Egypt, a promise of Christ's kingdom. I also want to tell you about this near-death experience this gal had. Her name is Luna. She was a parachute jumper, and she jumped many times, and she got a new parachute. And it was, instead of a round parachute, it was a square parachute, she said. And the lines, as she was coming down, got entangled, and then she could not get them untangled. And she tells her story. She's on YouTube. You can look her up. Near-death experiences. Her name is Luna. I don't recall her last name, I'm sorry. But you should be able to find it. And she's got dark hair, and she's sitting like on a sofa like I am and talking about her experience. And what I found very cool is that, not that she had this horrific experience, and she was afraid every time she went up. And after this experience, she wasn't afraid anymore. And then later on, she decided to stop because she started getting that fear again and felt that it was time that the Lord was telling her to do other things with her life. So anyway, she's trying to get untangled. She's trying to pull the rig. She's trying to go right. It's to untangle it. It's not working. She's getting closer and closer. She's, at 2,500 feet from the ground. She had told herself she'd cut away and use her reserve, but she had already passed that point. Now she's at 1,500 feet, and she's still trying to get untangled, making wrong decisions. And at 800 feet, she knows she's going to meet her Maker. She's going to meet the Lord, and she felt very honored. And her spirit came out of her body. And she watched her body go all the way down 800 feet, bounce off the ground up 20 feet, and back down again and bounce again, and then she landed on her back, and then she landed on her stomach. But the thing is that her spirit was out of her body. She felt one with the whole world, with the birds, with the sky, with the stars, with God, with everything. She felt one, and she felt incredible love that she's never ever felt before in her entire life. And she was given a thought, okay, that said, "You are going to be fine, you're going to live." And she knew that it was from God, and she knew that as soon as she accepted that thought, all of a sudden she's down by her body. She's not in it, she's looking at her body, and then later she's in her body. So you got to check out her story. But that part there, that's very Swedenborgian-ish, okay? And it's biblical. So, all right? Okay. All righty. So, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, put forth a riddle, speak a parable into the house of Israel, and say, Thus saith the Lord God, a great eagle with wings, long-winded, full of feathers, which had divers colors, came into Lebanon and took the highest branch of the cedar. He cropped off the top of his young twigs and carried it into a land of traffic. He set it in the city of merchants. He took also the seed of the land and planted it in the fruitful field. He placed it by the great waters, and he set it as a willow tree. And it grew, and it became a spreading vine, a low stature, whose branches turned toward him, and the roots thereof were under him. And so it became a vine. And he brought forth branches, shot forth sprigs. There was also another great eagle with great wings, and many feathers. And behold, this vine did bend her roots towards him, and shot forth her branches towards him, and that her might water it by the furrows of her plantation. And it was planted in good soil, and by great waters, that it may bring forth branches, that it might bear fruit, that it might be a goodly vine. Say thou, Thus saith the Lord God, Shall it prosper? Shall he not pull up the roots thereof, and cut off the fruit thereof, that it wither? It shall wither, and all the leaves of her spring, even without great power or many people to pluck it up by the roots thereof. Yea, behold, being planted, shall it prosper? Shall it not utterly wither when the east wind toucheth it? It shall wither in the furrows where it grew. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Say now to the rebellious house, Know ye not what these things mean? Tell them, Behold, the king of Babylon is come to Jerusalem, and hath taken the king thereof, and the princesses thereof, and led them with him to Babylon, and hath taken of the king's seed, and made a covenant with him, and hath taken an oath of him. He hath also taken the mighty of the land, that the kingdom might be based, and it may not lift itself up, but that by keeping of his covenant it might stand. But he rebelled against him in sending his ambassadors into Egypt, that they may give him horses and such people. Shall he prosper? Shall he escape that doth such things? Or shall he break the covenant and be delivered? As I live, saith the Lord God, surely in the place where the king dwelleth, that made him king, whose oath he despised, and whose covenant he breaketh, even with him, and in the midst of Babylon he shall die. Neither shall the Pharaoh with his mighty army, great company, make for him in the war by casting up mounts and building forts to cut off many persons. Seeing he despised the oath by breaking the covenant, where, lo, he had given his hand, and hath done all these things, he shall not escape. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, As I live, surely mine oath, and he hath despised, and my covenant that he hath broken, even if it will I recompense upon his own head. For I will spread my net upon him, and he shall be taken in my snare, and I will bring him to Babylon, and will plead with him there for his trespass, that he hath trespassed against me. All of his fugitives with all of his bands shall fall by the sword, that they remain and shall be scattered toward all winds. Ye shall know that I, the Lord, have spoken it. Thus saith the Lord God, I will also take of the highest branch of the high cedar, and will set it. I will crop off from the top of his young twigs a tender one, and plant it upon a high mountain and eminent. In the mountain of the height of Israel will I plant it, and it shall bring forth burrows and bear fruit and be a goodly cedar, and under it shall dwell all fowl of every wing. In the shadow of the branches thereof shall they dwell. And all the trees of the field shall know that I am the Lord, and have brought down the high tree, have exalted the low tree, have dried up the green tree, have made the dry tree to flourish. I, the Lord, have spoken and done it. Chapter 18. The word of the Lord came unto me again, saying, What mean ye that ye use this proverb concerning the land of Israel, saying that the fathers have eaten sour grapes, and the children's teeth are set on edge? As I live, saith the Lord God, ye shall not have occasion any more to use this proverb in Israel. Behold, all souls are mine. As the soul of the Father, so also the soul of the Son is mine. And the soul that sinneth, it shall die. If a man be just, and do that which is lawful and right, and hath not eaten upon the mountains, neither hath lifted up his eyes to the idols of the house of Israel, neither hath defiled his neighbor's wife, neither hath come near to a minstrous woman. In other words, been oppressive, okay? And hath not oppressed any, but have restored to the debtor a pledge, and hath spoiled none by violence, and have given his bread to the hungry, and have covered the naked with garment, been helpful, okay? That he hath not given forth upon usury, neither hath taken any incense, that had withdrawn his hand from iniquity, and hath executed true judgment between man and man, hath walked in my statutes, and kept my judgments, and dealt truly. He is just, he shall surely live, saith the Lord God. And if he beget a son that is a robber and shredder of blood, that doth like to any one of these things, and doeth not any of those duties, but even hath eaten upon the mountains, and defiled his neighbor's wife, hath oppressed the poor, the needy, hath spoiled the violence, have not restored their pledge, and have lifted up the eyes to the idols, hath committed abomination, hath given forth upon usury, hath taken increase. Shall he live? He shall not live. He hath done all these abominations. He shall surely die. His blood shall be upon him. Now lo, if he beget a son, and seeth all that his father's sins which he hath done, and considereth, and do not such like, do the opposite, that hath not eaten up on the mountains, neither hath lifted up his eyes to the idols of the house of Israel, and have not defiled his neighbor's wife. That is, desiring his neighbor's property is basically what it's talking about here. Neither hath oppressed any, and hath not withholden the pledge, neither hath spoiled by violence, but hath given his bread to the hungry, and hath covered the naked with a garment, that have taken off his hand from the poor, that hath not received usury or incense, and have executed my judgments, hath walked in my statutes. He shall not die for the iniquity of his father. He shall surely live. And as for his father, because he cruelly oppressed, spoiled his brother by violence, and did that which was not good among his people, lo, even he shall die in his iniquity. Yea, say yea. Why? Doth not the son bear the iniquity of the father? When the son hath done that which is lawful and right, and hath kept all my statutes, and have done them, he shall surely live. The soul that sinneth, it shall die. The son shall not bear the iniquity of the father, neither shall the father bear the iniquity of the son. The righteousness of the righteous shall be upon him, and the wickedness of the wicked shall be upon him. And I need to stop there, and I will continue on my next video. And I stopped at verse 21, okay? All right. Have a blessed day. Hope this finds you well. Thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe. Pass it along. Love you. Bye.